Hello, welcome to another video by Indicator Vault. This is Ronald, and in this video we're going to go over ways we could have caught this move with the origin down here. And we see here on the 4-hour chart of the British pound, Australian dollar, we've had a huge move up, taking out all these previous highs here. And you see I've got the logic day trading, the order block gen, and the Candlestick Pattern Pro here on the chart. And I'm going to go over just some ways, some confluences of how to use these together. It's three of them, and they can, work in very powerful ways to spot these zones. And first I want to, just bring up the Candlestick Pattern Pro. And these are just the ones I have checked as far as to pick up on. I don't have all of them checked, just because it can clutter up the charts a lot. You have a lot of patterns showing up. I'd encourage you to find just your favorite patterns or the ones you're most comfortable with trading and just have those. You could even just have a handful, 4 or 5 or 6, turned on for the Candlestick Pattern Pro. But here we have the 4-hour chart, and with this huge up move starting down here. And this is what I basically want to show you. The ideal, and this doesn't always happen. Price action can be messy and just not very clean at times. For instance, we've got this here, with some potential buy signal, but we see it never breaks here. So then we see a sell signal. And of course we do have a move down. And so it can be tough to filter out, which is going to be the strongest zones to have, and which ones are going to hold. But here we have one that does hold. And this is where all 3 of these indicators are lining up in one. We see the bullish hammer pattern form right here. This blue outline of the rectangle box there. And part of that candle is also part of the logic day trading zone. Let me actually turn off the order block gen in this to first show this bullish hammer pattern with these 3 candles here. This last one, as you can see, is also part of the bullish buy zone for the logic day trading indicator. If we turn off the Candlestick Pattern Pro and now turn on the order block gen, we can see that same down candle is part of both of those as well. So we now have this candle here is overlapping with all 3 of these indicators. And they are all lining up together. As I turn them all back on, we see this happen. And of course, now the logic day trading does not pick up this zone until this candle breaks above here, which is just fine because that is our confirmation candle. We now see the break of structure, right? We see it here. So here on the 4-hour chart, all this lining up that a strong bullish move is going to originate from here, that we can still see some higher highs form even after this break of structure. So of course, in the very next candle retraces back down into it. So let me bring price here, and now we're going to go to the 1-hour chart. Actually, let me go to the 4-hour and mark out. I want to mark out the order block right there, the top of the order block. It's right there. So now on the 1-hour, let's see what we find. And we're going to see the same thing. So now we've dropped to the 1-hour. So this is the start of our 4-hour bullish order block with the yellow line. And right before we see that break of structure, we see the same thing. While it's not a bullish hammer, it's a bullish belt hold. inside of the logic day trading, the buy zone. And while it does not share a candle with the order block, as I now turn off the logic day trading, while the bullish belt hold candlestick pattern doesn't share a zone with the order block, it's still all happening inside of the logic day trading zone. We see that it's picking up these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 candles, and all 5 candles are being used for other bullish confirmations. So we see that break of structure. Again, we do see this engulfing bearish, as well as, the same confirmations to go down. We're not paying attention to that because on the higher time frame, the confirmation is pointing to bullish. It's pointing to an up move. And just to be honest, this is not very clean price action. Here you do see, as far as the highest up close candle, a little bit of a reaction, but not much. And we're filtering that out because the 4-hour is so obviously bullish. This huge zone, it's tough to trade from anyway. It's way too big to really refine a good entry. So we have the 4-hour with all 3 lining up in the same zone. We then go to the 1-hour, all 3 lining up into the same zone as well. And so retraces back down into the zone, into the order block. I prefer to trade off of the order blocks because they can be a little bit more refined. Order blocks right here. The logic day trading will usually pick up a bigger zone, a larger one. So it's nice to refine with the order blocks alone. Retraces into it and obviously just keeps on climbing. We see a little bit of a similar one, not as clean as this one, but let's say you didn't get on this entry, kind of giving the same thing. It's got the bullish squeeze candlestick pattern inside of the logic day trading zone. Inside of the bullish order block, we see it does break up, has a candle close above it, retraces back down into it, and never looks back. But we can go into even a lower time frame on the 15-minute. And we can see some similar things here as well. Now, remember, this retracement on the 1-hour and the 4-hour is going into our zones that have all 3 of these indicators lining up. And so you can't get too picky when you already have the 1-hour and the 4-hour with such great confirmation for a bullish up move. You may just want to enter right away and not, I just say that because here we see the logic day trade and the order block gen pick up this same zone. However, we don't see a bullish candlestick pattern. But with all the confirmation we've already seen for price to continue upwards, we don't need all this extra confirmation on these lower time frames. The higher time frame is already pointing to a bullish move. So, that's something you may want to stick in your trade plan. If you want to work with 3 different time frames, make a list of what confirmations you want on each of those time frames. Obviously, the higher time frames are going to carry more weight, so you want the extra confirmation there. But when you get to the smaller time frames, if you're using 3 indicators, you may just want 2 of them to line up. And of course, we see that here. This is a great zone to buy from. You do want to put your stop loss below the strong low that you're expecting. If you put it here with spreads, probably would have gotten taken out if you put it below here. Basically the same, dipped a little bit below her, but spreads definitely would have gotten you. But this low never even comes close to getting violated. See a little bit of some messy price action as far as, some conflicting signals here, some false signals. But we have a strong belief price is going to continue up. And if you didn't get in here, you could have gotten in on the retest of this zone here, stop below here. And then again, you know, you've got the order block, not inside of here, but again, it's close enough that it's overlapping zones. A retracement here, along with the bullish hammer right here, as it is touching the order block. Plenty of entries to have gotten in on this trade. And then even, you know, here as well, price is not yet taken out this high. So another overlapping order block with the logic day trading zones right here, retraces back into it and continues going up. So just a couple examples of these three indicators working together to find, you know, this up move here. And since we're framing this off of the 4 hour, let me actually hide these to clean up the chart. Let's say we got in on the top of the 4 hour zone, even though we refined our entries on the lower time frames. We for sure know it's going to take out this high, just under 2 to 1, but taking out this high, 2.5, taking out this next high, 4.3. But let me refine some more. If you got in on this 15-minute entry here, and then put your stop below this one, which did take out here, but it's a later entry, you're obviously now increasing your R&R by some more, but almost 6, 5.8 risk to reward ratio. So this, wanted to point out this example here on the British pound, Australian dollar chart of these three indicators lining up. You know, very easy to see zones that are drawn out, and very easy to see when they do overlap and they have, you know, the multiple confluences lining up with each other. So I hope this video was helpful, and until next time, best of luck trading.